Yo. Welcome back to another episode of Unspoken Conversations podcast. You are tuning in with your co-host, D'Angelo.
Daryl.
And John.
What's up, world? How y'all doing?
What up, fellas? Y'all doing all right tonight?
What up, old lady?
Episode 3.
Oh, man.
Episode 3. I love the number 3.
The Tylers and all. Everybody can get a shout out. What's up? What's up, fellas? How y'all feeling this evening?
Yeah, I'm doing good, bro. Doing good. No complaints over here. What about y'all?
Oh, yeah. We still alive, baby.
Still alive.
I can see. I can live. I can breathe.
10 toes down.
You know? And back at it in another day. Another opportunity.
Respect.
All right. For those of you who are just tuning in, if you accidentally or purposely just clicked on our channel, I want to let you know that Unspoken Conversations podcast, our mission is to encourage individuals to address difficult or avoided conversations. And in this podcast, we hope that we can help create a tool that you can use and add to your toolbox of life to help you with challenges or things that you may need to use to help you in your day-to-day.
Exactly.
So, moving along.
Moving along.
You know what? I meant to get them drumsticks for when we do our drum roll. I had to add that in there. But drum roll, please. All right. Our first topic of conversation is we're addressing work-related conflict. That's what we're going to start off with. We're going to talk about work-related conflict.
There's always something going on at work. Always.
If you got a job,
If
that
you don't
means
got a job,
you work. That means
I thought it was JAB.
What's that?
You remember on the movie, Lauren London? Got a JAB.
What was that, ATL?
Nah, that was on Big Happy Family or something where old girl was it? Barry!
Oh, with
Tiana Taylor.
Yeah, Tiana Taylor.
So yeah.
I was trying to think of your boy Bow Wow.
Yeah, every time I hear
I'm broke. Y'all don't know nothing about that. You'll have to watch the episode to get that one. But anyway, back to the topic of conversation. We're speaking on work-related conflict. So that's something that everybody, that has a job have to learn to deal with. Because we all have that one somebody or two somebodies.
Or three somebodies.
That just get on your nerves at work,
Everlasting nerves.
It kind of make you cringe your teeth and make you ball your fists, and you be saying a lot of stuff in your head, But you can't necessarily say it in a professional standpoint.
I say it out loud.
First off, I'm gonna see, because we all working men, we not bums, Thank God.
Shout out to the working
Shout
men.
out to the working men and women in the world.
It's alright to be a bum. Just playing.
Unless you're a Roy bum. Shout out to Roy bum. But yeah, I just want to ask. I'm gonna start off with John to my left. Like John, I'm sure you can think about some type of conflict or some matter that happened at work that you had to solve.
I mean, I would say I think something that everybody deals with that just like supervisors talking to you reckless. Even though I understand that you are my boss or whatever, you still have to speak with me with respect. So
Most definitely.
I think that's something that everybody can relate to on that one because we always have that one person that just go, we at work, right? Like, I'm from the hood still.
Right, exactly. Don't let this fool you now, because I'm dressed all nice with a suit and tie on. Don't think that I can get out of order. You know what I mean?
So that's one thing that I feel like I know I dealt with on several occasions, several different jobs, and I feel that everybody dealt with. We can all relate to that one.
Man, why you think bosses be piping up and fitting themselves?
Honestly, I just feel like they have to overcompensate. I want bosses to realize, or I think they should realize that, you'll get more accomplished if you just speak to a person respectful. Because pretty much when you come at them sideways, of course, that's gonna like, oh, I ain't finna do that. Like, you tripping. Like, it will be received better on how you present it. So,
all right.
It's all about the presentation.
Presentation is everything. That's one of my sayings right there.
I can get mad because Daryl stepped on my shoe. Now I can respond. It's like, hold on, hey, you stepped on my shoe, homie. what's up? You set tripping over here? What's up? Or I can respond, be like,
hey, bro,
hey, excuse me, brother, you stepped on my shoe. You know.
And he's more likely to respond like, "Oh, I'm sorry, bro. I didn't even realize, you know."
Now he just might pipe back up on my terms.
Ah man, it just depends.
Forget your shoe, homie.
Ah man, it just depends on how many drinks I already had. You know, depends on what cup you catch me on.
Depending on your reaction in that situation, depending on the result. That's gonna come about of that. Now I can respond back negatively, aggressive, and offensive to him.
Exactly. And
or
that's the thing.
I can shift it.
We all have to pretty much do that. Even though we deal with those situations, we got to think about our response, because our response could either help the situation or it can make it worse.
Help or hurt.
So even though they we talk about impulsive decisions, oftentimes they talk about impulsive shopping. Like, you have impulsive decisions when they come down to everything. Like, so pretty much you want to actually analyze it. Take a second.
Take your time.
Take a second. Think about what you're going to say and think about how it's going to be received.
Right.
Before you pretty much address that situation, because we do need to work, so you got to think about, okay, is this going to affect my job?
You need your money now.
So pretty much don't put yourself in a situation where it's just like, oh, well, I'm checking out the door now because I just got fired. But, still stand your ground, but do it and present your case in a respectful manner. So,
yeah. And it's all about that, because I feel like regardless of a person being a dick or not, if you come to them in a respectful manner, regardless if they're used to being respectful or not, it's something about that startles them, that makes them, okay. I need to pay attention to this. I need to.
You got to analyze every situation too, because even when it comes up to you might want to address it, but if you address it, like, let's just say y'all coworkers or y'all my supervisors, if I come address it in front of both of y'all, he might feel acclimated to pretty much be like, okay, I got to stand my ground and show him what I'm working with.
Exactly.
Compared to if you go catch him by himself and you chop it up, chat it up, and be like, hey, they really made me feel like
you pull them to the side. It's just you and that person. You're face to face with them. You're letting them know what's going on. You're being honest.
Yeah.
You're not putting their back against the wall. Yeah. It's just being honest. Hey, you know what, Cadero? I really didn't like how you said my name when we had that meeting today in front of the bar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I want to see what's up.
What's
going on?
So
and that's how you address it. Instead of the other way, how we would typically want to respond.
Man, I get y'all, and I appreciate y'all. Y'all responsible, politically correct. Politically correct. Politically, well, the word is.
Are you saying polygamy?
Polygamy, definitely. Look, I appreciate y'all, and y'all policy following procedures, but I mean, at the end of the day, certain people just don't respect. Hey, excuse me.
You're right. Sometimes.
Hey, excuse me.
Sometimes, I get it. Sometimes. So I mean, have to be a little more aggressive.
Like in the ideal world,
I would say assertive.
Like in the ideal world, it would be cool to just sit down there and you be able to sit down with your cup of coffee, hey, boom, boom, boom. I didn't like the way that this happened. But at the end of the day, you got to realize that some people, management or whatever, people come to work for different reasons. Some people do come to work because they need to make money. Some people come to work because, depending on what job or field they in, they there, because they actually love what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And
because they bored.
Some people go, some people are retired and, they just trying to find, it's just a little.
And some people just have this job because they need some money and they really don't care about nobody else there, and just like, okay, I need my paycheck, and they're going to treat everybody how they want to be treated now, and then they wonder why they're the bad guy, why they're the bad person.
But in this situation, a lot of times, I don't think it, a lot of times we take it as, okay, you have a personal vendetta against us. You have to think about it. Yeah. They might be going through.
Don't take it personal.
They might be going through X, Y, and Z at home, even though they should balance that out. they should basically be able to disconnect them. Like, okay, I'm going in the job. Let me start fresh because I don't need to take out any external problems out on my coworkers or my employees. But a lot of times they aren't able to disconnect it, and when it comes down to it, it comes out very negative, like, you know.
Exactly, and that was the point I wanted to bring up when Cordero was giving an example of, you know, why people come to work. You know, some people may be more passionate about it, and that's on their agenda when they come to work. You know, the ones that have that big old smile on their face, and it's early in the morning, you're like, why in the world you so happy? Like, I'm just waking up. Like, you need to calm down. You talking a little bit too loud. You know, wait till after 9:30 before you talk that loud. You know, so I get it, but at the same time, you know, it becomes a problem because people don't know how to detach their personal life from their professional life. You know, they bring their experience or their problems that they're having at home outside
marriage,
work,
relationship, kids,
into work. Now you coming into work and somebody speaking to you and say, "Hey, how you doing, Mr. Hawkins?" and you walking down with your head down. You know,
they act like you
know, like what? Okay.
That happened to me all the time, but I actually laugh at the
Me
situation
too.
like that. Like,
I actually continue to smile, and I might say something else again to make sure you knew that I was speaking to you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
you know?
do y'all feel like?
I treat with kindness.
So, do y'all feel like that's more or less, you know, a person's lack of education, or is there more, you know, like, because you know you have certain job requirements, you know, like, or certain courses you could take as far as like management go, you know, like how to properly manage and run a business, you know, like you have all these different type of classes to do that. So would it be more of an educational gap toward the situation, or would it be more or less like somebody that's just like emotionally immature, or just lack of understanding or empathy for others?
Well,
I would say, in that situation, I would say it's probably more so of an emotional problem, where it's basically being unable to control emotion. Because even like me personally, even though I'm educated, all that kind of stuff, when I get upset, sometimes I don't think.
You lose that. All that stuff
so all that goes down the drain. So sometimes, you know, even though that person might be educated and they're overqualified for the position most times, sometimes if you don't control your emotions appropriately, it comes off that way. So I wouldn't say it's a lack of education from that standpoint.
Well, I'm kind of in the middle of the two. I kind of believe that it's a little bit of both, you know. It's a little bit of, you know, maturity. You have to have some maturity. And I would say the educational standpoints, it has an effect in it because, you know, that differentiates you from, you know, others. You know, if somebody is, you know, educated versus somebody that's uneducated, you know, they'll probably be less, you know, prone to care about, you know, those professional standpoints or keeping good relationships and rapport with their coworkers and their colleagues versus, you know, somebody that don't.
Exactly. So yeah, I understand that. So I mean, it just depends, man. Everybody.
So it's a little bit of both.
It's a little melting pot of everything, pretty much mixed in. So, because even from that, you know, if you're going to be in a supervisor position, you need to have conflict resolution skills.
Right.
Man, those be the main ones that act like they don't know how to treat people. You know,
because conflict is going to occur. Like you can't avoid it.
It's like, well, how are you in this position over other employees, and you don't know how to treat no one?
Because you, like, when you're in that position, you have to realize you're actually, you know, even though, like, as educated black men, we consider ourselves role models for the younger, you know, black males coming up, or even just younger, the generation of males. When you're in that supervisor or in that boss position, you're pretty much setting the standard for your employees. So if you're setting a negative standard, like, oh, I can talk to people any kind of way, what do you expect your employees to do?
Right. See, I had an experience with bosses that were that way. You know, some that were mindful and did try and did, you know, care for the employees and wanted to listen and was honest. You know, we had a much better relationship. You know, It was easy to talk about things when there was a problem. You know, instead of being afraid or not wanting to talk to the boss because you don't know how it's gonna go.
React,
you know, because she was upfront, because she was honest, because she was willing to try, you know, and we were as well, it created a great relationship. Mm-hmm. But then I also had that boss that want to be resistant, want to be, do it because I told you to, you know, with no explanation, you know, and want to carry that weight around, you know, and then say one thing in your face and then be behind your back, you know. So it takes maturity, you know. Education, I believe, amplifies it, but, you know, you have to have maturity, you know, when dealing with work conflict. You know, that's something that you got to be able to examine within yourself, you know, so when it transpires, when it happens, you will know how to handle it.
Exactly.
Because like we say, you can be so educated or so used to doing these things or carry yourself a certain way, but it just take that one little thing that turn you off.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Everybody got their triggers.
Right. So when we have those thoughts, we got to have the first initial thought, then the second thought need to be okay. We need to be thinking about,
let me take a break
is that, you know, what we need to be, is that the track that we need to be on? The second thought need to be correcting and follow up from that first initial thought. You know, we can't act on that first thought.
Exactly. So that's why, you know, they always say, you know, a lot of people say follow your first mind. A lot of times it's not the case. Your first mind, it leads you into sometimes the second mind. And like I said, you said follow that second mind. The second mind is the corrective thought, the corrective decision-making thought that comes into effect. So pretty much if you follow that first mind, it's impulsive. You've probably been shot a couple people, got a couple teardrops right there. But, you know, when you think about it, like, hey, you know, I got to do this or I got this going on. Or this is going to affect my family. This is going to affect such and such. Yeah. Then you think about, okay, let me not approach this situation like that.
Right.
Because we all tested.
Right. We can't let that person, you know, the enemy, have the power over us. You know what I mean?
It's a mental battle. Like daily. Everything is a mental struggle. It's a daily struggle. It's a mental battle. So we also have to basically, that's why mental health is very much important. Even when it comes down to daily living, your job, dealing with your family, your kids, everything. Like, because if it's not, or if it's, should I say, if it's being neglected and there is an issue, that could just overflow and spill into your everyday life and all these different things. So.
True. Yeah, so word of advice, you know, be patient, be willing to, you know, grow and change, and try to use that second thought instead of that first thought.
And another thing, never be too prideful to accept constructive criticism.
Oh, yeah.
Because nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
Oh, man.
Nobody's perfect.
It sounds like y'all need to be getting seminars to managers, man, because managers the only one that I ever met that can handle constructive criticism.
It seems like it's always them.
I mean, I just feel like this. So
the main one.
If it is any managers or any
I respect authority.
Personnel that actually needs the training, you can contact us at Unspoken Conversations and just book us, and we'll be gladly to come hold a seminar or a training session for you guys.
Or if you have any tips or strategies that you may want to give us for advice, we'll also be willing to take that as well.
Exactly. I mean, it's scratch my back, I scratch your back. It's all about giving. You know what I'm saying? It's all about forward progression.
Growth. Support.
So let's take a commercial break right here, and we'll be back.
Hello, world. It's D'Angelo from the Unspoken Conversations crew. We would like to thank you for your support. And if you're just joining us, we ask that you like and subscribe us on YouTube. Peace. Hello, world. Welcome back to Unspoken Conversations podcast. We are now tuning in back from our break. And before our break, we were just discussing work-related conflict. You know, working in the work-related, you know, handling those situations, you know, and moving along. Since we were talking about financial means, that brings us down to the second topic. Generational wealth.
Money.
What is generational wealth?
Let's see. Generational wealth is pretty much what it says. It's creating wealth for generations. You know, if I want to dive in a little bit more, it's just pretty much, you know, making sure that not only yourself but generations to come after you are financially stable. Because a lot of times, you know, we we as parents or we as people before the the oncoming generations, we pretty much get in debt and we leave that debt for the oncoming generations to
Right. See, that's the topic of conversation that we, it is not really happening in our culture. That's the type of conversation that gets disregarded. That's not even on the table.
That's right.
For when we're having dinner.
It's not. But I mean, when it comes up to it, it's, if you want to be honest, it's kind of within our culture, and I could say not from personal experience, but experiences from people that I hear about, reports. You're pretty much creating debt for the child or the generation that comes after you before they're even able to sustain themselves. That comes from putting bills in kids' names and all that.
Right. Now we all know
somebody
that we had a cousin or somebody that had the name it 6-year-old with a $500 phone bill, and she don't even know how to push the numbers to down. No.
Exactly.
And I think that was something that was, a habit that was repeated over and over for generations, that was passed down.
It was a learned behavior.
That we have to break out of, and that's why we're proposing to bring up this word, generational wealth, so that we can start the conversations on these type of things, so that you can tell your child at the age of 5, the ins and outs of generational wealth, training their mind,
I mean, you have to train a child. Like, I could say my mom, she actually did a good job. Even though, you still get older, you make crazy decisions. But as a child, like, my mom taught me, she's like, okay, this is how you pay bills. This is how you do this. This is how you save. This is how you do that. So pretty much she implemented that earlier. But that's not happening with a lot of our people. When it comes down to it, it's just like, whatever money you get, spend it.
Right.
So what are you saving?
Right.
What are you leaving? Nothing.
Exactly. and other avenues of generational wealth, things such as IRAs and brokers accounts.
Yeah.
The
stock exchange.
The stock market.
Yeah. Like,
what about that $1,000 that you had in college? You know what I mean? That refund check. Yeah, everybody know.
Then we went to the mall. We got some shoes.
You lit for that refund check. You let that refund check hit that account.
And we went to the club. We bought shots for everybody.
Balling out.
Oh, y'all was friendly with y'all, huh?
What if you just put that $1,000, say, into a
savings account?
Not on the savings account. That's another thing. We're gonna talk about that, but not a savings account. What if you just got a trust, a treasury bond, a savings bond? You put that $1,000 in there at the age of 20, and you just forget about it. You go on living your life, life goes on. You 30 now, and you just forgot that you had that $1,000 in there. But guess how much that $1,000 is now?
It's accumulated, exactly.
It's $2,000.
But that's why you also have to,
And the thing about this, it's not like a bank.
No,
it's not like a savings account where you have hundreds of thousands of dollars in your account, and the bank give you pennies to your dollars.
Yeah,
it's not like that. It is much more beneficial because you actually have a trusted, avenue where you don't have to worry about your money, losing or depreciating.
Yeah.
It's going to be guaranteed to double. If you leave it in there, just let it sit for 10 years. Guaranteed. It's protecting you. Ain't got to worry about, like in the stock market, the stock goes down. Oh, I lost my money. You don't have to worry about that.
Exactly.
And with a savings bond,
and especially when it comes out to the refund check, I mean, like, you just blow that. Like, you yeah, I'm waiting on this refund. Homecoming coming up. I need to blow this.
Bro,
you ain't need it.
How much more things, like we could have, how much many opportunities and how much more things that we could have done with that money instead of just blew it.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's a whole lot I could have done. But, I mean, when it came down to it, can't cry over lost milk. But now I know better.
But that's the very real thing that why we have to do our part in spreading that awareness, you know, and spreading that, you know, that education. We have cousins, sisters, brothers, you know, probably a sibling or something, probably went to the same college, you know, that you attended, and you know, so you got to get that game. We gotta spread that knowledge, you know, things that we learned when you know, when we were younger. It's like, well, I forgot what I was going to. I was going to say the things that we experienced when we were younger. You know, you would want to use
those experiences to teach the next person coming along. You know,
exactly. You know, so that's how we're gonna grow. That's how we
help others grow.
That's how we, you know, really make a movement as a culture. You know, when we do things like this, instead of saying, "Oh man, I got this knowledge. I know more than you. I know something that you don't know." You know, we can't. Instead of being that way, we should want to, you know, help each other out. You know, help one another. You know, pass knowledge. You know,
it's all about helping each other.
Something.
You never know. It might, like, kid me not, man. It's been people that I helped, like kids that I helped when I was like fresh in college, and went to college, graduated now. And like even now, like they give you calls, man. Remember when you did such and such?
Yeah.
I don't even remember it, but those people appreciate it, man. Yeah. And then when they get in positions, it's like, oh, remember you helped me, but don't worry about, I got this.
Because they felt that real love, because it was genuine, you know. And once you have that natural, that real authentic vibe with someone, male, female, you know, it don't have to be sexually. I'm talking about that connection, that vibe, that, you know, that likeness, that mindset, you know, that support.
Because when a person feels that you have their genuine interest and their overall well-being at heart, like you get a whole lot further. Like even though, like when it comes down to sharing knowledge, if a person don't think that you have their best interest at heart, think about all these scammers coming up. They present it like it's knowledge. But when it comes down to it, it's a scam. Yeah. So when you present stuff and the person knows that you have their genuine interest at heart, they're more likely to accept it. And pretty much when they accept it, it's like planting a seed. When you plant a seed, they just go keep watering. You got to keep dropping. You got to keep watering that seed.
Exactly.
And when it grows, man, it's going to bloom into something beautiful, right?
Amen. That's real spill, folks. That's real spill right there, you
definitely.
know?
So, I mean, but even when it comes down to it, we talked about generational wealth. Like, you have to think about it. I'm going to say this, and this is key. Multiple streams of income.
Not just that one job when you working them doubles and you getting, and you work the 4 hours and then the 8 hours, you know, and you working them 12-hour shifts. Not just that job. We want you to have that job, but then think about what you are good at. You know, what you are passionate about.
Make a hobby a job. It's stuff that you like doing.
Things that you just naturally enjoy doing, or things that you find out you good at. You know, and I've learned, like, it's so easy to say, but you know, once you actually think about it, it's totally different. Because I say that all the time, but then I find myself, you know, I had to really sit down and think about, like, really, am I living by what I'm saying? You know, am I following those, you know, the advice that I'm giving?
Yeah, I'm one of the people I get the best advice and don't sometimes follow myself. So yeah,
exactly. I'm that same individual. But it's like, you know, once you give that advice,
you got to absorb it. You got to put yourself in that other person's position too. So you got to receive the same thing you're giving.
Right. So it made me think about, dang, dude, am I really using all my, you know, my capabilities, my abilities, my talent to the fulfillment
exactly
that I need, to the length and measures that I need to do?
Yeah, like, man, it's crazy because, like, a lot of times, even now, like, of course, I pretty much I've learned that early, and like you make investments. Like for example, I do photography on the side.
Exactly.
Man, I invested like maybe $600 in the camera. I made that back in one weekend on a family reunion shoot, bro. Like, I made that back double plus like made like $2,000 for one weekend.
Right.
And what a $600 investment. Look how quick that turned around.
And you know what? Honestly, I think this is actually an example of that, a product of me taking the initiative and us talking about it to do something that we knew was within us, but we were just making excuses to not do it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Because we've been supposed to do
but we
this
didn't
for the
really
longest.
think about our impact. Like we really do this.
We were on a small scale, I would say.
Yeah.
Because we still pretty much did our job to impact the community and the people around it, but now we're basically using our platform to basically reach hundreds, thousands.
Exactly.
And that's needed because we were confined within this little bubble, and once we realized, like, hey, man, we trapping ourselves within this little wall, man.
Exactly.
We need to expand.
Let's get big, baby. Let's do it big and do it better.
But let's talk about, like, what are some multiple streams of income that people or our listeners could actually engage in that they just overlook? It's everyday things that they overlook. I'm gonna start by saying, like, let's just say you're a good artist. People pay big time money for portraits, for artwork.
Exactly.
Like, there's something you sleeping on. Like, there's a talent. There's something you enjoy doing. Why not get paid for something you enjoy doing anyway?
So,
Daryl, you got any?
I would say this: that chick that can do her thing with some hair.
Oh yeah.
And she doing sister and cousin and auntie, grandma, everybody hair in the hood and in the neighborhood. Why don't you put that talent? How about this? Since we're talking about generational wealth, how about you go ahead and Google the LLC?
Exactly.
Google what a limited liability company is.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of blowing money, man, I'll put it like this. How much do you like to eat at a fast food restaurant?
Yep.
Okay. I know you're a fan of that.
Yep. I like cooking.
About how much? I know you busy. You know what I mean? So I get it.
Always want to go.
We shouldn't result to that. We should result to
eating healthy.
Buying our groceries,
cooking,
get some natural fruits, and vegetables, and not.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Processed food, that's killing us in this world.
Exactly.
But in a week's time, how much do you think you spend on fast food? I'm
not even gonna talk about it now, but I'm gonna talk about
it. Not being with COVID and staying in the house.
I'm just saying, at one point,
on a regular
I was
day.
spending at least $150 to $200 a week just eating out.
A week. Just $100 a week.
$150 a week.
4 weeks in a month.
That's $600.
Easy.
Gone.
Easy. Gone.
And I think about it now, and I can get upset, man. Like,
check this out. So what if you just started? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and buy and make some groceries.
$200 worth of groceries.
And I'm gonna go ahead and cook, and I'm gonna go ahead and prep my food for the week or for these couple of days. You know what I mean? Think about how much money you'll save. And instead of putting that money into you throwing it away into fast food restaurant and things that we don't need, how about reinvesting that into yourself? That woman that's doing that hair, how about you get that LLC and get your hair salon going? Get you a name, get you a business.
Also, and then I want to speak on this because, a lot of people, they get discouraged. It's like, well, I don't want to do makeup. I don't want to do hair. Everybody and their mama doing it.
Yeah,
but everybody specializes in something different. So what you might bring to the table is something that them other people can't do.
It's going to be totally different.
So pretty much you still got to basically take that step out on faith. Like, you still be like, well, I understand that they got this, but I'm me. You got to have that self-confidence. Like, hey, I'm me. I know I'm going to do this. I know I'm a dog at this. I know I'm going to put this. I'm going to bring this to the table. Hey, let me put myself out there.
It's discouraging now. It really is. It's tough to master mentally. Because that's the first part that you have to, you know, you got to get over.
But that's where the support system come in. Because even me, like, even when it comes down to music or whatever I do, like, you know, I always, you know, well, I ain't gonna say always, but sometimes I second guess myself. And then, like, I have friends like y'all or other people I know be like, hey, this is good. Like, this is dope, bro. Like, you know, keep pushing.
And that encourages you. Exactly, that motivates you. Like, oh, well, dang, I am. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna continue to do this.
Grinding. Like,
you know, I'm gonna work a little harder. You know?
Exactly. And then the thing is, you never can become complacent. Like, you gotta always be like, okay, yeah, I understand I'm getting this, you know, these compliments, I'm getting this, but hey, I still want to be better for myself.
Exactly.
So even if you do feel like, hey, I'm down or I'm not this, don't pretty much sit there and sulk in it. Apply the knowledge. Go pretty much everything that you possibly need in life is pretty much at the tip of your fingers on this phone. So pretty much whatever you need, you can go learn, research, YouTube. Do it.
Hey, subscribers on YouTube, Unspoken Conversation. Anything, you know, you can learn internet.
Anything.
Just go on the internet.
Exactly. So I mean, you got that another stream of income that people don't think about. Meal prepping. We was talking about that. Man, you can meal prep for people. People like me that don't like cooking. We just need somebody to cook for us sometimes. We buy the stuff, bring it to you, meal prep. You like cooking anyway, it's easy income. We both benefit off of it.
So whatever it is, you just gotta find your niche, you know what I mean? It's just like that person that's always handling the conflict, and the friends always running to you, and you got to talk through this and help give them relationship advice, and you ain't even in a relationship. Mm-hmm. But you confident in people, you know, that's a skill.
Exactly.
That's a tool, you know. Figure out how you can, you know, find out how you can put a dollar sign on that thing.
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching. You know?
Daryl, where you at with my sound effects, man? Where you at with my sound effects? There we go, baby.
Yeah, baby, generational wealth is all about, you know, multiple incomes. Thinking about multiple ways, different avenues of how you can sell yourself.
And then think about this. If you work in your regular job, cool. That cover your bills and all the necessities in life. These other streams of income, this just going straight into the bank. Or whatever you plan to invest
or your goals. You want to get that house, or you want to get that car, or you want to go back to school, or you want to get that LLC, whatever, you know. And LLC, I realized it's what from like $40 to $500, depending on what state
most of them like $250.
Yeah, less than that. You know, I used to be so scared. I was like, oh, owning me a business, oh, it's gonna take a lot of money. Oh, I'm gonna have to be rich before I, you know, make the money. And it's really not that, you know.
Start up, small.
Start. You just gotta start, baby. You just gotta get out there and do it. Believe in yourself and go after it. You know.
Because if you don't do it, ain't nobody else gonna do it for you.
Who gonna do it for you? Who gonna do it? Nobody.
Hey, you should be your biggest supporter. You should be your number one fan. I don't care if you're doing music. I don't care if you're doing photography. I don't care what you're doing. You should be your number one fan and supporter. You gotta believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, you don't put forth the effort, ain't nobody gonna do it.
I don't care if you the trash man, a scripper.
Exactly.
I don't care. You should love yourself.
Hey, shout out to the strippers. Cause like the strippers coming up. I know I'm seeing people pretty much take that route to come up. Now they business moguls and stuff, right?
Yeah, that's another hot thing that, you know, people that's joining in. But yeah, back to what we were saying. Don't get discouraged just because a lot of people are doing hair, a lot of people doing nails. They not you. They aren't you.
Exactly.
You know? So be you and hold up. You should try to get in the podcast.
I know, right? We got callers calling in, you know. Email us. Unspoken Conversations ddj@gmail.com. Whatever questions, topics that you want to suggest, do that. Again, it's Unspoken Conversations at ddj@gmail.com.
We want to hear y'all.
Yeah, we want your input. We don't want to be like all of us. Like,
so let us know. Comment.
Go into the video. Comment.
We will reply.
Go on YouTube. I mean, not YouTube, Instagram. Yeah, go on YouTube, comment, but go on Instagram, DM us, write comments under our posts, man. Like, we open to feedback.. And again, like, we go do it. We go start a mailbag. So we gonna give you more information on that. So whatever topics or whatever questions you have for us,
stay tuned.
It's coming. So don't be afraid. Have your questions ready and be ready to send it in.
Be afraid. Be very, very afraid. I'll bite.
I mean, yeah, Daryl might bite.
Yeah, so, but let's go to another commercial break.
Quick word of advice about the mailbox thing, though. Look, check this out.
Okay.
Do not ask any questions you do not want the answer to.
Exactly, because we coming shooting straight from the hip.
Fact.
What up, world? John here from the Unspoken Conversations podcast crew. I would like to tell you about our mailbag. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to email us at unspokenconversationsddj@gmail.com. Again, that email is unspokenconversationsddj@gmail.com. Peace.
All right, well, welcome back. Earlier we made a mention of generational wealth, and one of the tools we said, was invest in the IRAs, stock market. Another tool that I wanted to give to you guys was the life insurance.
Oh yeah.
Life insurance is very, very important.
Gotcha.
So as we all know, we all live,
and we all die,
and we all must die. So, with that being said, when someone dies, there's a certain things that you have to do, as far as having financial means. You got to take care of the funeral.
Expenses.
You got to take care of the whatever the individual may have in debt. Bills and things that they have collected over time. Those things still have to be paid, even though the person has deceased.
Exactly.
But life insurance is one of the important things that we in our culture kind of skip over, and yet it's something that we need, and it should be essential.
And it's mad cheap, man. That's the thing.
Mad cheap. Monthly.
Or bi-weekly. It depends on
however you want to do it.
But it's still cheap.
It's cheap.
Man.
It's still cheap.
Man, I've seen people waste more money on alcohol than get
exactly.
policy, man.
I'm gonna tell you right now, a 20-piece, you can get life insurance for less than a 20-piece from McDonald's.
Oh yeah, less than $20.
And is it
$100,000?
And is it like a couple policies where you can make for a child? You know what I'm saying? Like they kind of pitch you in for their college tuition and stuff. Like you kind of
custodial accounts. You can create custodial accounts for children to build their funds to get them in the educational world when they grow up.
And then I know y'all watch Power. So remember, Ghost was like, "Oh, no, you got to go to." Well, pretty much after Ghost supposedly died, he pretty much left the life insurance policy to Tyreek, but in order for him to get there, he had to go to college and finish college first.
I think that was more trust fund.
Yes, trust fund almost.
Yeah. Something like trust fund.
You know what? While we're talking about that, I heard through the grapevine that back in the day, that was how Master P had actually got some of his money.
Oh, for real?
Because it was passed down. It was an inheritance from a death in the family, and then he just flipped and multiplied, put it into his label and recreated more money, financial means. That's what we was meaning. Generational wealth. You got to find other means on top of other means of you to make money. The days of us having one job and breaking our back and working hard for people that don't appreciate us is over. If you're gonna do that, if you're gonna work hard, break your back, at least do that, and have
for yourself.
Yeah, and have some financial means for yourself. If you're going to work hard and get blood, sweat, and tears, why don't you work hard for blood, sweat, and tears for yourself? Investing in something that's going to create financial means for you and your family and your kids.
Yeah, kids.
And your kids. We got to get out of the present day of us. We got to think about what we want and what the people... what they want and what they're gonna need. We got to think forward, thinking, progressive thinking, and stop thinking present day. And that's part of the why we're encouraging others to think about generational wealth.
Gotcha. So that's definitely great. So let's dive into the next topic. What are some things that you know now that you wish you know back then? or some things that you would have changed or done differently.
Okay. So we're gonna get into a time machine.
Yeah, let's
get
back.
Into the time machine. We're gonna go back to
let's crank it up.
And we're gonna talk to our old self. And if we could jump in the time machine and give our old self
the new lottery tickets.
What would we tell our old self? We would give us a number to the lottery ticket to win the Powerball.
Man, how does people keep winning, bro?
How much is the Powerball? Like,
I don't know.
Man, they ain't.
200
I haven't heard that
million?
about Powerball in forever.
Why? Because of COVID.
You know, COVID kind of slowed
Man,
down.
people, I'm about to say, man, people still be buying tickets though. Don't trip.
They be killing me, bro. I'll be at the store like waiting, just
right, man. You gotta wait that long.
Let me get that
And then half of the people don't have their mask on. You know.
Man, at the end of the day, man, just take that one.
Won't you hurry up and get your dollar scratch off?
Take that one right ticket. The one right ticket, baby. That's all I need. That one ticket.
That's gonna be the main one you look on the news.
Well,
and see
y'all ain't gonna see me. Y'all ain't gonna see me no more.
You gonna go ghost? Speaking of ghosts, you gonna go ghost on us?
So let's get into it. So what's something, Daryl, what's something that you know now that you wish you knew back then, a lesson to your younger self?
Oh man,
don't give him none of that bad stuff. He look like he ready to give some
bad
advice. He ready to give himself some bad. How you gonna give yourself some bad advice? How you gonna go back in time and give yourself some bad advice?
And you know what? It really was gonna be some horrible advice. Because what I really was gonna say was like, I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? Like with most of the with all of them. Well, with all of them. Because I mean, if I think about it,
it creates who you are today.
Right. And like if everything went according to my plan, man, I'm telling you, I would have been divorced twice with about 3 kids.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up,
divorced twice
people.
with about 3 kids, man.
Wrap it up and be certain of who you marry.
That's why I said I would have been married and divorced twice. Like.
So your advice.
But my advice is though,
that alimony would have been beating your ass right now.
To myself, it wouldn't really be advice, but it's just something that I picked up, like, in life, period, is, it's never about what you know about, but about who you know.
Networking.
You know what I'm saying? And, like, when I was doing this internship, I had met my mentor, my mentee. My mentor, mentee. Yeah, I'm the mentee.
One of the mentors.
Yeah, I'm the mentee. I ain't had nothing to teach him. Yeah, right. But like the mentor though, you know what I'm saying? Like, we communicate back and forth through emails and text messages and like, like at the signature part of the emails, like the thing that he has on there is in order to increase your net worth, you have to increase your net worth.
Yeah.
Network.
Yeah, it's dope. That's
dope.
Increase
your net
worth.
In order to increase your net worth, you gotta increase your network.
Exactly.
That's deep.
And like that stuck with me because at the end of the day, it's stuff that you don't know. It's stuff that people are better at. It's stuff that people went to school for, like people went to school to be attorneys, people went to school to be dentists, you know what I'm saying? Like they went to school for this to like, so like when you do have that question or or
don't be too prideful to ask.
Or like when your mouth hurting, you know what I'm saying? You go to the dentist, you don't sit down there and like
deal with it. Just
try to, you go to the professional. And to me, just seeing that quote from him, like it shed a lot of light to, like in like just in the world in general. You know what I'm saying? Like
I definitely can agree with that.
Yeah. So D, what's something that you would say your younger self?
My younger self. Oh yeah. Shoot, not to accept all those daggone loans in college.
Student loans is killing me right now.
Forget that. I mean, I know it look all good with them numbers.
Refund checks,
especially when you used to having little coins in your pocket when the little coins show up in your account. Okay. It's like, oh, you know what I mean? And you get the splurge in the door and that's I can get 20,000.
Shot caller.
Let me get 20,000 then. And then later on, now you got a whole.
Salome.
Yeah, not Salome.
With interest.
Oh,
with
yeah.
interest.
And best believe, she ain't gonna miss you either. So old Sally gonna come find you. Some way, somehow. If you don't.
You borrowed 20, but you know
you can defer. You can defer, but you can send them long to defer all you want. Defer me for a little while, defer, but then
35.
she's still gonna be after your butt after that, and you will have more interest tacked on to that loan.
Matter of fact, pretty much you left Sally Mae with one baby. You gonna come back, you gonna have 5. You like, hold up, now,
I ain't even put the seed in it. Come on now. Where you get this from, Sally?
This is not mine.
Come on now, Sally. But yeah, you know, I would have told myself to take a hold and be a little smarter and only take really what I really need. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And not, you know, be subject to just accept it just because you see that number. You know? And I was wondering why, shoot, how in the world how you can get $30,000, you know, like this loan and that loan, like what?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And now I know, okay, I was able to get those loans because I had good credit.
And them interest rates.
I had good credit, you know? And yeah, they're gonna want you to borrow this, borrow that, you know.
Right.
But you have to be smart about it and accept only what you need.
Exactly.
If you got $2,000 you saved up, yeah, to be smart and you wanna add some points to your credit score, I'm gonna give you some juice. Yeah, you use that $2,000, you gonna get you a loan. And then you use that $2,000 you have, and you pay that $2,000 loan off,
right.
and set it up into your auto draft in your account, and that'll help your credit.
But
score.
I'm gonna provide some modules. So let's just say you need this loan for school because everybody don't have scholarships and stuff. So you actually do need this loan. So when it comes down to it, let's just say you got good credit. So even though the school and like this is the thing, I hate that our financial counselors don't break down interest rates and all this kind of stuff to it. It's just like, oh, you need this, sign it. So when it comes down to what if you do have good credit? Why can't you go to like a federal credit union or something like that, and you get like a
better interest rate, you know, versus getting the high interest rate from the loan company, you know what I mean? And they know that you're more inclined to accept it because you're in college, you know? Exactly. So they can tack on a high interest rates and you don't think about it.
You blind. They leading you because you blind.
Until you graduate. And now you got all this money that you have to pay back, you know? So that's what advice I would give myself. I would go back into the time machine. So watch them loans, man. You know, be careful. You know, don't just get them just because it's available. It's just a trick, baby. Don't fall for it. So do not fall for that.
Don't fall for that. If you got decent credit, go to a credit union. Go to
keep your credit up. If you're gonna borrow, you better make sure when you get that summer job, you go ahead and put that money back and don't say, I'm gonna do it later. No, do it now.
Or you can do this. Pretty much, if you get a loan for this, get enough that you could pay back until, like, just say you're not working. Get enough so you can make your monthly payments until you get your summer job.
Exactly.
Right.
If you want to take the loan to inquire to take care of your rent, you know, your bills for this amount of time, so 6 months, then that's okay. And so if you find a job, then all that money income that you have, that'll be yours. Mm-hmm. And then if you want to, pay extra on your loan, you can do so.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's a mechanism. That's a way to be smart about it. Mm-hmm. You know, that's a technique that I wish I would have, had someone to tell me or had the knowledge to know, so we could have done those things. You know, maybe it would have put us in a better position. You know, now. Not to say we ain't in a good position. I'm just saying,
but we're in a better position.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely. It's always about better.
Always growth.
Exactly. So let's see. Y'all dive in on stuff y'all would change. Let me see. Ooh, it's a whole lot I could change.
Yeah. What would you say, John?
Ooh.
If you can give yourself advice.
Man, I would give myself
a
lot of advice. So I'm gonna say
one piece of. Oh, you gonna give yourself a whole lot of advice?
I'm gonna give myself a whole lot of advice. But I'm gonna narrow it down to right now. I would say I would have been more inclined to listen and actually apply myself in college. Because pretty much, me, like thousands and probably millions of other people. I changed my major when I was in school.
Oh yeah. Oh, I did as well.
I changed my major.
Look. All of us, let me guess. Was you a criminal justice major? Like everybody, a criminal justice major.
First of all, we not gonna sit down here and disrespect criminal justice major.
I was a criminal justice major
because I'm definitely a criminal justice graduate. I graduated.
You must have went
with my BA in criminal justice.
You must have went to Grand.
Hey, look, shout out. Hey, look, shout out to my study group to help me get that.
You must have went to Grand because everybody from Grand graduated in criminal justice.
Hey, I'm not sitting down here throwing no shots, bro.
I just gotta mess with it. It's all love and swag.
You know how to swag.
You know how to swag.
It's all love. It's you, you know.
That one out my hand.
But no, I wasn't criminal justice. I never thought about that. Even though I was working at the prison when I was in college though. But the crazy thing was I was actually in mechanical engineering. So,
what in the world did you Wait a minute.
I was in mechanical engineering first,
And you dropped that?
Yeah, I got out of that.
No, we need to invent this time machine so I can send my boy back, so he can go back and get that knowledge, so we can be back at this real bank that we
exactly.
Right now.
But it was straight until when they start adding letters to numbers, it got confusing. And instead of actually, because I was one of the people that I was crazy. Like if I studied, I failed the test. If I didn't study, I passed it. So pretty much, I needed to study to learn the information. I just didn't apply myself. Yeah, so if I could go back, I'm like, hey, apply yourself, bro, because the reward afterwards will be so much.
Yeah. Hey,
but we don't see that in the beginning.
All right, so
we don't see that in the beginning.
My word of advice to young John would have been, you will always lose money chasing women, but you would not lose women chasing money. So in other words, if you wasn't chasing, if you were chasing the right thing,
you chasing the wrong thing.
You chasing the wrong thing.
You're chasing the wrong thing, my brother.
But
I mean, even another thing that I would have told myself, back in high school, of course, sports. Of course, I'm tall, such and such. I'm like, man, this high school, I ain't trying to hurt nobody. And then the coach was like, you gotta be aggressive. You gotta be aggressive. I'm like, I'm bigger than everybody, and I ain't trying to hurt nobody. But now it's like, I understand.
But you didn't know what he meant when he said you have to be aggressive. You thinking aggressive, man, push them around and bang it,
put them in chokeholds.
Right. In your mind, you like,
no knees, bounce out.
But if you use your advice that you. Who gave that advice? Somebody gave some advice about, listening.
I think this all of us. We all
and then the other advice was to actually, act on it and be brave. Mm-hmm. If you would have just listened and then acted upon it and said, coach, I mean, how is aggressive? I don't understand. Exactly. If you would have been honest and said, coach.
What you mean?
What is aggressive? Can you let me know? Like, I'm banging everybody around. I'm pushing like I'm the biggest, I'm the strongest guy out here. What do you mean aggressive?
Exactly.
Now, if you would have done that, maybe coach would have explained to you in a little more in depth about what he meant by it.
Exactly.
And you want to just continue your growth right there.
Exactly.
Because
now I understand it, and I'm like, oh, this all it is. It's so easy.
Right.
So it's crazy. It's like, bro, I wish I would have did that, man.
Now you got me strolling down memory lane.
I mean, I really don't have that many, like, I guess I was like that weird person that like really just enjoyed everything about like the decisions I made. It's weird, but
nothing wrong with being weird.
Like, but to me it was dope. Like, cool. I guess, like in college, for example, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess the only big, I really had no regrets in college, except, probably Wayne, but having 8 o'clock classes was like.
Yeah, never do 8 o'clock
classes. Look. Unless freshman year.
The only time you can take it.
Especially not on Fridays. Not on Fridays.
So, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Mondays.
Monday.
Because let's say you go home on the weekend.
Of the week, man.
Monday.
After the weekend, you
do the Tuesday, Thursday, 8 a.m., man.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 o'clock math class. I would never forget this. Bro, like, when I tell you I was the guy that was, that was in pajamas, going to class at 8 o'clock in the morning, that was me.
I think you still go to class in your
pajamas. Cause I remember I was over there.
That ain't the point. Look,
you came from class.
All habits
pajamas.
He still go to class.
All habits die hard, baby. All that. Hey, look, it be like that sometimes. Cause as soon as I get finished class, I'm going straight to bed, baby.
Exactly.
But yeah, 8 o'clock classes.
Yeah, that's a part of learning, though. That's a part of the experience because
exactly. Including like we don't have that guidance. Yeah,
you would think that I'm gonna start early
and
I
finish
get done early.
Like I've been going to 8 o'clock classes all my life. I mean, what time school start? Like in elementary, middle school, around about that 7:30, 8 o'clock.
You think,
so
I'm used to getting up.
Right.
You do that all through elementary, all through high school.
But I'm gonna say this.
But that college 8 o'clock different though.
It did help.
Different.
If you schedule your classes back to back like you did in high school, you'll be done. You just gonna get them out instead of having them spaced out.
But that's when you already have accepted that you have to get up and
I'm not saying
hear that alarm,
but at least
and not hit that alarm twice.
At 10:30.
Hey, like 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock should be the earliest that.
Okay, you talking about like you can have an early one, but then space it. Don't space it out.
Yeah, don't space it out because sometimes
I had at 8 o'clock, then having to go back to class at 11, right?
Yeah,
12, something.
You had that big old gap. Yeah, that'll drain you right.
I also did that freshman year. That's exactly why I had my pajamas on. Like I go at 8. I go at 8, get finished at 8.
And go back
to the dorm. Get in the bed.
Take you now.
Go get in the bed and get ready for that old 11. Was it 11 o'clock? Even 11 o'clock or 1 o'clock class.
So he used to love that boy. Oh, I got time to go take a nap.
What?
Oh, I better get off. I gotta go.
Oh, that
8 o'clock. But it's just the fact that you don't be wanting to get up sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you ain't did that homework assignment that you need to do and you used to procrastinate. And now you gotta wake up at 7, you know what I mean? Well, yeah, not 7 because you ain't gonna make it. You ain't gonna meet the deadline.
Oh, man, do papers.
Oh, man, don't be a commuter. Man, don't be a commuter.
Now you earlier than 8.
Man, don't be a commuter having 8
Don't
o'clock
be a commuter. Don't have traffic and be a commuter. Don't get in there and be trying to catch up. Don't have road rage while you're a commuter and in traffic.
Oh man, don't go to a university. They don't have enough parking.
Oh yeah, you always. Or you just better be have mama, dad, or your savings account, checking account ready to pay them ticket.
All them tickets.
Man,
hopefully you don't get no boot.
God.
And then wait till graduation to bring all of it up. Yeah, before you walk the stage, you owe $2,725.
No, the thing is, they'll let you walk the stage, but when it comes down time to try to get your transcript for a job, it's like, no, you ain't getting your transcript.
That you still have some payments that you need. What? Oh, back to the tickets though. This is the crazy thing, and this literally happened to me. I'm in the class, right? Got this person that's in the class. I don't even know the person. You just see the people from being in your class. We ain't never said nothing to each other. But one day I'm walking right to my car, and I see him with the ticket thing on. The crazy thing is, they actually used to make students
be the ticket people.
Yeah, go around and give tickets to help
the criminal justice
police
people.
Officers do that.
No, that was a job. That was on one of them financial aid jobs.
It was just so crazy to see. Like, wait a minute, you in my class and you give me a ticket?
Man, we be late. We be trying to get.
Nah,
I ain't gonna help you.
That's one of them jobs, man.
You ripped it up. You don't pay none of that. I actually knew somebody that had a big old stack of tickets in college and they graduated. They didn't pay. I said, what? I paid my money. And you got all this stuff and you
It goes back to who you know.
I'm soft.
Networking.
I'm soft.
Networking.
You should have networked.
You should have networked better. If he was your friend, if you would have sat down there and held out your hand, hey, how you doing?
Well,
hey, look, that's my car right there.
If I wasn't shy, Daryl, then I would have been able to speak up for myself. But I was shy.
Oh man,
I ain't had that confidence to speak up. When those words came up, I couldn't say nothing.
I mean, I can relate with that too, cause I even now I'm naturally shy. But when you like 6'7", like you get a whole lot of attention, so you kind of learn how not to be shy. If
man, if I was 6'7", y'all can't tell me nothing. Y'all can't tell me that.
You just made me imagine what you would do if
y'all can't tell me that. No, I'm not getting in the middle of the back seat with that old hard ass hump. You know, like when you be going on road trips, since you like the smallest one, you always get that little middle seat.
No, I never.
Oh well, first of all, y'all you know what? You know what? Forget y'all. Exactly. My point exactly. Y'all just made y'all don't know how uncomfortable it is for short people. My point exactly. I rest my case.
Because we ride in the front.
I rest my case.
It's uncomfortable for us.
Y'all have a good day. I rest my case. I'm out.
Alright, bro. Slam down your gavel then.
Exactly.
Yes, sir. Well, again, guys, we thank you for tuning in to another episode of Unspoken Conversations Podcast. And we hope that you join us on our next episode.